Hi everyone, and welcome to the Angel Show. We've got a new angel for you today. It's Nayali, Ayam, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. I was so lucky to meet Nayali in person at the training for the Umana Technique teachers training. It was wonderful to meet you, Nayali. I feel like I've known you forever. You really truly are an earth angel. Thank you so much for being here today. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, Georgie. And thank you so much for having me here today. I feel very honored. It's very special to be able to talk about my passion.
I know your passion is obviously working with the light and angels, and you're loving Humana as much as I am. I've had some lovely sessions from you before I did my training. But tonight we're going to be talking about, or you're going to be talking about something very special. You're going to be talking about how Humana came to be, because you was there at the beginning when it all just started happening. So please take me back to that initial time when you was there with Kachina and she started saying there's something new coming in.
Well, it was a very exciting time, Georgie. But just a little bit of background. What I facilitate all of Kachina's courses and teaching when she comes to Melbourne, and she comes here 3 to 4 times a year. I've been doing that since 2017, so it's around 8 years now. 7 or 8 years that we've been doing that. And so now I facilitate, and Kachina runs all of the courses in Melbourne. When she comes into Melbourne, she does live in Queensland, you see. So I run them from my practice here, Pallowa, Melbourne, in Surrey Hills, Victoria, Australia. There is a Surrey Hills in Sydney, but Nate's the only one in Sydney. So I'm here in Surrey Hills in Victoria. So what happened? Again, just a little bit of background. What
Yeah.
happened was I was speaking with Kachina on the telephone in about June of 2023. Now, we were talking about the courses that were coming up in November of that year. And as she was speaking, she said, "Oh, Spirit has just told me that I need to come in September as well." Well, for me, when Spirit says that, I say, okay, we will make it work.
Mm.
For Kachina, she's a little bit, let's just decide if it works for me. Which is a very good lesson for all of us.
Absolutely, because we have
Um,
personal choice.
absolutely, yes. So we organised it, and it all of the courses were totally booked out. Of course, because that was a good sign that yes, it did need to happen. I won't go into the details of it, but what happened, in my view, I feel that by having those courses and for people following on doing those things that they learned, which I know that they did, raised the vibration at the end of 2023
Mhm.
enough for this new modality to come in.
Right.
So in November, when I picked up Kachina from the airport, it was much earlier in the day, interestingly enough, than I normally do. So we were very lucky to have an extra few hours sitting in my kitchen having a good chat. And as she was sitting there, she started to zone out. And I know that look. So it was like, okay. And she looked at me and she said, "There is a new modality coming." And I'm like, oh, wow. So that was very, very exciting. But I did say to her, hold that thought, stop right there, stop. And I ran and got a piece of a book and a pen so that she could write down her notes, because this has happened to us before. We've been we've been in a cafe or a restaurant, and these ideas come through, as it happens with a lot of people. So you end up writing on a scrappy little piece of paper something that you found, a receipt in your purse or something, or a serviette. And we all know the story of the best laid businesses that began on serviettes in a restaurant, you know. But we were in my home, and which is also my practice. And so I went and got the book, and she started taking notes. And the first thing they told her was, this is evolutionary engineering.
Wow.
That was the first thing that came through. Evolutionary engineering. And I went, okay, good luck with that one. So that was the beginning. And that was a Thursday. And when Kachina comes here, we have Thursday evening, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, full on teaching. So she did announce to everyone that there was a new modality coming, and who knows what it's going to be. So that was November of 2023. By March 2024, Kachina had fully downloaded, practiced, and was teaching the first Umana technique in March of 2024. So that is 4 months later. Now, we all think that Kachina's a bit of a superwoman, right? But even superwomen work very, very hard.
Yeah.
So what had happened was, between the time when she was first told about it to the first practitioners course in March 2024, Spirit were just boing, 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 sending it down, teaching her. They had her up most nights. She did not sleep for a lot of that time. She got very minimal sleep, and which is something that Kachina does teach us, that never let sleep be more important than your purpose. So that's really hard for some of us who love our sleep.
It's very hard for me. I like my sleep.
I love my sleep. But I've really learned that, yeah, when you've got to get up, because sometimes you need to get up in the middle of the night when everything is quiet, there's no disturbance, and then you are able to fully write down what they are telling you. You know, the downloads, everything is much more pure when that happens. So that's the background to it. So Kachina put in the hard yards, and it was quite amazing. And from March, less than 12 months later, Kachina was teaching the teaching course for Umana Technique. And that is when I was lucky enough to meet you, Georgie, because you came here in February of this year, which is 2025.
Yeah.
And joined us for the inaugural weekend of Umana Technique. So, and that was wonderful, because Kachina taught Umana Technique for the final time the day before she taught the teachers course.
Yeah. I was very blessed because we were coming from the UK. She let us do the two together because it would have been too much for us to not do it like that. So it was wonderful.
and it worked out so beautifully. And it was such a special weekend all round. And of course, I feel that it was in preparation for the March equinox, which is
Mm.
only 2 days away.
I know. And what are you doing for the March equinox?
Oh, I'm heading off. My husband and I are going to head off. We're going to be somewhere near the water at that time. So, yeah.
Fabulous.
And I have also trained my husband in Umana Technique. So at that time, being a teacher, I will be able to do the attunement on him.
That's
And my plan is to do that just before the equinox to help raise the energy. And let's have a look around at all the seeds that we've planted
yes.
to be
Absolutely.
activated.
I
So,
know.
yeah, so I'm feeling ever so excited that we've waited, oh, how many years?
Um,
Countless,
yeah,
thousands of years to get to this date. Anyway,
absolutely.
so that is that's a bit of the story of. I'm just looking to see if there's anything. Um, yeah. So um, again, I was very blessed to have the inaugural teachers training course
Mm.
um, at my practice in Pallowa, Melbourne, in
Your house
March.
was buzzing with that energy. It must still be
Yes,
buzzing from the
yes,
energy.
and I'm very, very blessed because I have the top floor as my practice,
Yeah.
and it really is quite a special. It's my sacred space, and
Mm.
I work hard to keep it that way.
It's beautiful. The energy in there is just amazing. It's so pure.
Yes.
It's really lovely. It must be on some sort of ley line or something as well, maybe.
Well, there's something special about it. I can feel it. I don't know what it is. Probably best I don't know because
Yeah,
I'd
we
be
don't
very
need to
bad.
know. We don't need to
No,
know.
but
It's
all I know, it's just beautiful,
yeah.
and it was just fabulous.
Uh,
So yeah. So with the Umana technique, often people ask me what is the difference with Umana technique and Palawa.
mm,
Well, they are two totally different things, but
absolutely.
they come together like a dance.
I was saying to Nate, they groove. They get a groove on. They get the groove on.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's almost like, the song Love and Marriage, Love
Yeah.
and Marriage. So
Go
Palawa and
together like a
Umana.
horse and carriage.
So this is so beautiful, but they are very different.
Yeah,
And a lot of people have asked me the difference, and I just tell them that this is the biggest difference. Palawa brings through the consciousness.
mm.
Umana connects us with divine. But the Umana is a technique. This technique is for conscious beings making the decision to increase their consciousness.
I'm getting tingles.
So if you remember that, if everyone can remember that,
Mm.
this technique is for conscious beings making the decision to increase their consciousness. And that will answer a lot of questions of how old does someone have to be? Da-da, da-da, da-da.
Yeah, yeah.
Humana doesn't do everything for everybody.
No,
Palawa does not do everything for everybody. What they both do is they do what they need to do and they do it well. So
absolutely.
that is,
Absolutely.
and of course, there are lots and lots of modalities. I have I have a toolbox full of modalities.
We're going
I,
to have you back, Nayali, to talk about each one.
I would love that,
Yeah, I
Georgie.
think that would make sense.
Yes, yes. And leading up to
Definitely.
the equinox, I've developed my own healing um, called the Phoenix of Light Healing.
Ah.
Um, I, I don't know a lot about it at the moment. I just know how it feels. So might have to stay tuned for that one because
Absolutely. I
yes,
was going to
yes.
say, did that start coming through after you did Pelawa or after you did Umana?
It started to come through probably about 2 years ago. So
So pre-Umana, yeah.
yes, pre-Umana, but I feel that Umana has actually, it's like it came through as a seed,
Yeah.
but the Umana has actually now made it blossom
I,
because
yeah.
it is, wow, it is quite amazing. And I've been using it just recently and mastering it. So I'm ever
Oh,
so happy
that's
that it's there.
fantastic.
And it's a lovely quick healing. It's only about 15 minutes. And well, basically, I think what it's about is that it clears the slate
Ooh,
for us to have the new beginning.
that sounds amazing.
So that's actually, I digress here, but we're talking about the Umana technique.
Yeah, do
So
you mind if I quickly tell you? Because you've obviously attuned and taught your husband. I've attuned and taught my son, and
wonderful.
he absolutely loves it. He's got ADHD, but it's
Yes,
really helped him. And he just got the technique and the positions, and he did a remote for a lady, and he's done it on my mum, and he absolutely loves it. And it's really, he had a session with me whilst I was in Australia as a remote, and in that
yes.
time he made a decision that he would stop smoking weed.
Wow.
After doing the training, he was like, I need to leave that person out of my life. They're not doing me any good. And this person and that person. He's got so much clarity. It's like he's really matured and blossomed. It's just
Isn't
amazing.
that
It
beautiful?
really is. And I'm lucky to be teaching Humana on the equinox, at the it is the no, it's not. It
Yeah.
is the equinox. I'm getting confused with equinox and solstice.
Oh, yes, they're
On the
all rolling
I
into one.
know, like it's all words to me. But the equinox, I'm going to be in a very sacred place, sort of like Derbyshire, Staffordshire, really close to some amazing ley lines. So we are all meant to be where we're meant to be around the world, anchoring in the Yamana, the light, activating seeds. So everything is as it should be. The angels are in their specific places. So
Oh,
before we wrap up, can you please
yes.
let everyone know how they can find you? I will put links below as well, but just tell them how they can find you.
Okay, so thank you, Georgie. I am at palawamelbourne.com.au. That takes you to my website where basically it speaks for itself. There's
Yeah.
lots of things on there. So yes,
And
yes.
you've
Thank
got a
and Georgie,
Humana as well. You've got a Humana website with Nate as well, haven't you?
correct. It is humana technique.com.
Humana-technique.com. I'll write that
Correct.
down. I'll write that down as well. I have got you
Yes.
linked on my website because I've got a blog post about the Humana technique and I've got it
Oh,
on there as well.
beautiful.
So
Oh,
yeah.
and Georgie, can I just thank you for putting out so much light?
Oh,
I think the world is a better place for you being in it.
likewise. Oh.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. I think we are so blessed to be able to have these tools, but not only have these tools, but really we have made the concerted effort to actually use them,
Yeah.
and to use them for their reason being to raise the consciousness of humanity, to
Yeah.
help raise the consciousness of humanity.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
We are being the light we wish to see.
Correct.
We are candles for humanity,
Oh, I
free
love it.
from fear and uncertainty.
That's right. And nothing will snuff us out.
Absolutely, I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's been such fun. We will do this again and we'll talk about one of the other amazing techniques that you offer. And yeah, when you've got more to tell us about the Phoenix and when you've got it on your website,
Yes. Yes.
definitely.
Thank you,
I'll be up
Georgie.
for that.
Lovely. Oh, I look forward to sending you one.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Well,
Thank you so much, Georgie.
you're welcome. Lots of love, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Take care.